What's going on, everybody? Jake the Happy Snake here, and welcome to episode 1000 of Jake Wants to Be a Millionaire. Wow, I cannot believe we've actually made it to the 1000th episode of this series. It is just unbelievable. When I started this series nearly 4 years ago on April 6, 2020, I did not think that I was going to be recording the 1000th episode nearly 4 years later. I thought there's no way. I did not think that I was going to be making it to this point. It is such a huge milestone to get to. I have been anticipating this episode for over a year now. On episode 739, I actually said that 1 year from today, episode 1000 will be releasing. And that was a year ago. That was a year ago today, and I won $250,000 in that episode, so it was actually a pretty good game I had. But yeah, this is absolutely crazy. 1000 episodes. It's wow, honestly. Now, I haven't played Who Wants to Be a Millionaire all the episodes. There have been some episodes where I've done, different things, but there's almost always been $1 million available, except for one episode, except for the April Fool's Day episode in 2022. Other than that episode, there's always been $1 million up for grabs, and I've always had an overall total. And that overall total is actually, it's pretty high now. It's actually $60,231,700. That's what I've won in 999 episodes. So yeah, that is crazy. That is crazy for sure. But yeah, I just want to get back. I really just want to take this in. I want to take this in that we've actually made it to four figures, and I want to celebrate so much. But before I get into what today's episode is going to be, it's going to be the biggest episode of the series. The amount of money that I could win today, it is the most that I've ever been able to win in one episode. But before we get into that, I just want to take a moment and say, if you've actually seen every episode up to this point, from episode 1 to episode 999, I want to say thank you very, very much. Even if you haven't, even if you've seen a few episodes here and there, I want to say thank you very much. This is something that I really enjoy doing. I really, really enjoy this. I started this right in the middle of the pandemic when everybody was stuck inside their homes, and I was really, really bored, and the revival of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with Jimmy Kimmel was just starting to air. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to start something like that myself. And that's not on anymore. But Jake Wants to Be a Millionaire still is, and I still really, really enjoy it. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire has always been my favorite game show. I remember watching it with Meredith Vieira when I was 6 years old, and I remember watching Jeff Gross on. I remember actually watching him on TV, and I really, really, really wanted to see a $1 million winner so badly. I heard my dad talking about these guys that won the $1 million with Regis, because my dad used to watch the show with Regis when he was the host. And I really want to see a $1 million winner. And then I saw this guy, Jeff Gross. He was going for $100,000. He had all 4 lifelines. And it went into commercial break. And I was so excited. I thought, this guy's going to win $1 million. I'm finally going to see a $1 million winner. And it went into commercial break, and it never came back. There was a special news coverage or whatever, and it never came back. And I remember thinking, wow, this is a really long commercial. And I was just sitting there, and then finally I'm like, okay, well, I got to go get lunch. So I went up and had my lunch. I came down, turned it back on, and the news coverage was still on. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to miss it. I missed all the good questions. I turned it on the very next day, and he was going for $1 million. I missed all the good questions. And finally, several years later, I was able to watch his run on YouTube. But it's things like that. I remember watching, I remember it used to come on early in the morning, and I remember, when I was really young watching it, and even after that, I remember watching it with Terry Crews and Cedric and Chris Harrison. I watched it with him too, and also with Regis. So when I was about 10, we got the Game Show Network, and they showed reruns of Regis' episodes, and it was fantastic. I just loved it. So yeah, it always has been my favorite game show. It is still my favorite game show, even though it's currently not on TV here, new episodes, I mean. It is still, I just love it. I love watching, old clips of when Regis was the host, and yeah, it's just, it is my favorite game show, one of my favorite TV shows of all time, and I still really, really enjoy this series. It is just so much fun, and I'm going to keep making new episodes. Despite this being a huge milestone, I'm going to make new episodes after this, and I always get excited for every time I start recording a new episode. I just get so excited. And that excitement is times by 150 for this episode, because it's episode 1000. So I've honestly been so excited for this since the time that I hit 500. When I got to episode 500, I was like, okay, I'm literally halfway to episode 1000, and we're here. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But I should really stop blabbing away. I needed to take a moment and just say how much this series means to me. You know, there's a reason why I've kept it going for this long. There's a reason why we've made it to 1,000 episodes. This series means so much to me, and that is part of the reason why I'm going to keep making new episodes, for sure. But yeah, so I have to get into what today's episode is going to be. It's going to be big. The amount of money I can win today, it is the highest amount of money I've been ever able to win in any episode of the series. There is a chance today that I could win as much as $10 million. And that would be incredible. That would put me over the $70 million mark. Now, it is going to be nearly impossible to do this. And I'm going to explain how I could actually win this much money. I'm going to be having 10 games today. I'm going to be playing 10 games of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire on 3 different versions. And if I win the $1 million in all 10 games, I'm going to win $10 million. Now, in 999 episodes, I've won the $1 million 12 times. So I'm gonna have to win the $1 million 10 times today in order to win $10 million. So it is very, very unlikely. But I'm still, it's still really, really possible. Now, if I on average win $125,000 today, I will win over $1 million overall. However, I won't actually count that as a $1 million win. A $1 million win is if I answer all 15 questions correctly. So yes, if I win the $1 million in all 10 games in this episode, I'm going to be winning $10 million, which would be crazy. There was also that spin-off series in 2004, Who Wants to Be a Super Millionaire, where the top prize actually was $10 million. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. But I am going to be having 10 games, and if I answer all 15 questions correctly in all 10 games, I'm going to win $10 million, and that would be insane. That would actually be just unreal. It's not going to happen, I don't think, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try for sure. So, now I'm going to get into what versions I'm going to be playing in this episode. So, 10 games. I'm going to be having 10 games, like I said, between 3 different versions. And here are the versions I'm going to be playing in this episode. So, the first game that I'm going to be playing in this episode is on the 2020 PC version. It is going to be on the normal difficulty with the usual 5 categories that I have on. The second game is going to be the Arcade Thunder version. I played that this summer and in early fall. And then the third game is going to be the Australian Game Boy Advance version. That is the version that I played in the first 200 episodes of the series. I played that version at the very beginning of the series. Won the $1 million. Well, overall, actually, I won the $1 million 4 times. 3 times when I was actually playing that game full time. But I revisited that version for my friend Zero Xerox birthday in 2021, and we won the $1 million in that episode. And then on Game 4, I'm going to be going back to the 2020 PC version. I'm going to be playing on normal mode again. Then in Game 5, I'm going to be playing the Arcade Thunder version again. In Game 6, I'm going to be going back to the Game Boy Advance, playing the Australian version. And then Game 7, I'm going to be going back to the 2020 PC version on normal mode. Game 8, I will be going back to the Arcade Thunder version. Game 9, I'm going to be going back to the Game Boy Advance Australian version. And then for the 10th and final game in this episode, I'm going to be playing the 2020 PC version for the 4th time in this episode. However, I'm not going to be playing on normal mode. I'm going to be playing on easy mode, which does increase my chances of winning the $1 million for sure, because I played that version on easy mode for, I played it quite a bit, and I did quite well several times. And I have confidence that I could win a lot of money in that game. So that is going to be the 10th game. And those are the 10 games. Those are the 10 games I'm going to be having today. And, I'm going to try. I'm going to put everything I've got into winning $10 million. Now, again, the chances of that are so slim. Really, 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 really slim. But you never know. I'm going to try. So, guys, with all of that out of the way, this intro has been like 8 or 9 minutes long at this point. It is time to get started with the first game of episode 1000 of Jake Wants to Be a Millionaire. All right. Here we are. Let's do this. So, this is the first game of the 1000th episode. Going to be playing normal mode. Like I said, I'm going to be playing this version 4 times, 3 times on normal mode, and the 4th time on easy mode. So, got the usual 5 categories on: entertainment, language, lifestyle, science, and TV series. I just played this version on Monday. So, yeah, now I'm playing it again. I played as Georges on Monday. For game 1 of episode 1000, I'm going to be playing as Julie. All right. Here we go. Game number 1 of episode 1000. Alright, here is the first question of episode 1000 for $100. Which animal's name also refers to a person used in an experiment to see if it works or not? That is going to be guinea pig. D. Final answer. Okay. That's $100. Now we're going for 200. Which of these is a plant traditionally associated with Christmas? Mistletoe. $200. Now we're going for 300. Which branch of the U.S. Security Services protects the president? Secret Service. Okay, that's $300. Going now for 500. Complete the name at the end of the saying, meaning it'll be done immediately before you can say Jack Robinson. Alright, that's $500, and now we're going for $1,000. The Heimlich maneuver is an emergency measure to help someone who is choking. B, final answer. And there we go, $1,000. So, no matter what happens for the rest of this episode, I've won $1,000 at the very least on episode 1000. That's great. Okay, we are 10 questions away from the million. Here we go for $2,000. Which university's campus is in Cambridge, Massachusetts? That's going to be Harvard. Okay. That's $2,000. Let's go now for 4,000. Which of these series was not first broadcast on Netflix? That's going to be Black Mirror. All right. $4,000. All right, let's keep going now. Here's the $8,000 question. On The Simpsons, what is the first name of Homer Simpson's father? Abe. Alright. Whew, that sounded right. I wasn't too sure about that. I've never seen The Simpsons. Okay, that's $8,000. Let's go now for $16,000. Spencer's Mountain is working title of The Waltons. Yes! Okay. Alright, we're on a roll. Got $16,000, 6 away from the millions. I have all 4 lifelines. Here we go. For $32,000. Ivan is the Russian equivalent for, I believe it's John. I'm going to say D, final answer. Yes! Alright, that is how we start this off. $32,000 guaranteed. We still have all 4 lifelines. We are in great shape right now. 5 away from the million. Here we go for $64,000. In Greek mythology, who is the mother of Oedipus? Oedipus. Okay, well, I don't know at all. So I will have to use a lifeline. Now, which lifeline do I use? That's the next question. I'll phone a friend. Now, I believe, actually, that Julie has a friend, and that's Andy, and he is... I remember him being pretty good, so that's who I'm going to call, and hopefully he can help us out. $20 seconds. Come on, give me the right answer, please. 15 seconds. They're gonna try B. Alright. I will trust that. I'll say B, final answer. Yes! Thank you, Andy. That is $64,000. 4 away from the million. 3 lifelines left. Here we go now for $125,000. In what year did Albert Einstein receive? In which year did Albert Einstein receive the Nobel Prize in Physics? I'm gonna ask the audience. I don't think it would be 1910. 43 would make the most. 1921. Almost half the audience said that. I don't really want to use another lifeline, so I'm gonna trust that. 1921. Yeah! Woo! Thank you, audience! Okay, good. This is really good. $125,000. We're 3 away from the million. We have 2 lifelines left. Here we go for $250,000. Oh, boy. In what series has Terry O'Quinn, John Locke in the series Lost, not appeared? Alias, Hawaii Five-0, Falling Skies, Felicity. Okay. I have no idea. So I'm going to switch the question. And I'm going to hope. I'm really going to hope that I get one that I've had before. You know, to win $10 million, I have 10 steps. There's 10 steps, and that's to win the million every game. So this is my first step. So what I would like to do is I'm hoping if I switch the question, I'm going to get one that I have had before. That's probably not going to happen, but I'm going to hope for that. And then if I can get through that, use the 50-50 on the $500,000 question. I don't know. The chances of me winning the million are really slim. But anyways, we're going to switch the question on this, and I am going to see what the right answer is because I'm going to be playing this game. I'm going to be playing on this difficulty 2 more times today. So it looks like it is Felicity. Okay. All right, let's take a look at the new $250,000 question. How many years of marriage are celebrated by a pearl wedding anniversary? Okay, so my parents have been married for 33 years. I feel like I remember them talking about the silver anniversary, and I don't know if that's 25 or 30, but I feel like in recent years, by recent I mean as far back as 8 years ago, 9 years ago I guess, I feel like I've heard them talk about the silver anniversary. So that would mean I'm kind of leaning towards 40 or 50. But I know I said I wanted to save the 50-50, but I think I'm going to have to use it on this one. I'm going to feel a lot better if it leaves A or B. I don't think it's going to leave both of them. I think it's 40 or 50. If it leaves C and D, then that's going to be a problem. Before 50-50, actually, just let me, just you know what, just give me a second. I just actually want to see. Let me just try to think. Have I heard about the pearl wedding anniversary? Isn't the 50th, isn't it something else? I don't know if I've ever actually heard of the pearl anniversary. This is tough. All right, let's go. Let's go with the 50-50. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, I don't think it's 30. I'm going to take the chance. It's $93,000. I'm going to say 40. C. Final answer. Oh my gosh! Are you serious? It is actually 30. Ah! Son of a gun! Ouch! 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 That hurts a lot. Ugh. Wow. That is unfortunate. Oh my gosh. Dang. Well, you know what though? It's okay. $10 million it's out the window now, which, you know, isn't surprising. But there's 9 games to go. I have 9 chances to redeem myself. So, yeah, that could have definitely gone better, but you know, it was a good game for sure. Well, that was going really well, but unfortunately, it did not end the way I was hoping it was going to, but that's okay, because it is time for the second game of the episode, which is going to be on the Arcade Thunder version. I played this version for 100 episodes that went from July to November. I won the $1 million twice in this version, and hopefully I can win the $1 million again here. Here we go. First question for $100, which is not a vehicle. Computers are not vehicles, otherwise I would be using a vehicle right now. That is $100. Here we go for 200. Whose nose grows every time he tells a lie? Pinocchio. Final answer. Okay, for $300. In the nursery rhyme, as I was going to St. Ives, the narrator met a man with several wives. Okay, that is $300. Here we go now for 500. What soft drinks commercials set Michael Jackson's hair on fire in 1984? Pepsi Cola. Alright. Now we are going for $1,000. Here we go. What movie monster was seen swinging from the Empire State Building? That's going to be King Kong. I was actually watching a clip of that last night. There we go. $1,000 guaranteed. We are 10 away now from the $1 million. Here we go for 2,000. How many times does the Earth go around the sun in a year? Once. Okay, that's $2,000. Next up is question number 7 for 4,000. What was Leonardo da Vinci's design for a parachute shaped like? A pyramid. Okay. $4,000. Here we go for 8,000. What continent would you find Egypt in? That is going to be Africa, so I will make D my final answer. Okay, this is going well so far. We've got $8,000. All 3 lifelines are still intact. Now we are going for $16,000. The first 3 words of the Bible. That's going to be in the beginning. So A, final answer. Alright, this is going well. We're about to go for $32,000. I still have all 3 lifelines, okay? Let's not mess this up. Here we go. $32,000 question. What planet does the Star Trek's Mr. Spock come from? Wow, this is like perfect. Because I am currently watching through the original Star Trek series. I'm actually taking a break. I'm right in between season 2 and 3. I don't think I've seen this question before in this version. But Spock is a Vulcan, and that's also the name of the planet. So Vulcan is going to be my final answer. There we go. $32,000 guaranteed. We're in the same position that we were in just a few minutes ago in the PC version. We are going now for $64,000. All 3 lifelines still intact. What's a rope attached to a yacht's anchor called? Okay, I actually know this one as well. That's actually really good. That would be a road. So I will say A. And I will make that my final answer. Okay. I'm gonna start doing what I was doing before. when I play this version. I'm just gonna take a second. I've gotten 11 straight questions correct without using a lifeline. This is actually really good. We're 4 away from $1 million. I still have all 3 lifelines. Let's do this. Let's do it. Here we go for $125,000. How many yards are there in a furlong? Okay, give me a second. I actually think I know this. I actually think I know this one as well. It's either B or C. 120, 223, 24, 20. I just want to take a second. I think it's 220. Just let me think. Okay. I could use a lifeline, but you know what? I'm gonna go with my gut, and I'm gonna say B, 220. Final answer. Yes! Woo! Okay. $125,000. This is actually getting really, really good. We are 3 away from the $1 million. I haven't used a lifeline yet. This is actually really good. Deep breath. I need some water. Plus, I messed this up. We are going now for $250,000. Let's not be reckless. $250,000 question. What part of its body does the archerfish shoot drops of water from? Okay. I think I know this. I think I know this one as well. I'm pretty sure it's the mouth. Because I had this one time when I was playing this version full time. And I remember I went for it, not caring if I got it wrong. And I think I may have used it 50-50. I feel like that A and C were left. And I think I just took a guess and I said it's mouth, and that was right. Now, I know I have all my lifelines, but I want the million! So I'm gonna say A, it's mouth, and I'm gonna make that my final answer. Yes! Holy crap! Holy crap. Holy crap. I've redeemed myself in the last game. Okay, this is actually wild. We are 2 away from $1 million, and I still have all my lifelines. Deep breath, Jake. Deep breath. This is absolutely insane. Let's do it. Let's win the $1 million in episode 1000. Here we go. For $500,000. How many years did it take to build a Great Pyramid? Okay. Let me take a second on this. I think it's 20. I do think it is 20. But that's a $218,000 risk. I do have all my lifelines, so I might as well just play it safe. Let me phone a friend. It's D? How sure are you that it's D? How sure? 85% is absolutely good enough. I will make D 20 my final answer. Holy crap. Okay. So I did not have to do that. I thought it was D. I did not have to do that. But you know what? This is actually unbelievable. With 2 lifelines left. We're actually going to look at the $1 million question. Wow. Have I gotten lucky this game or what? Here we go, guys. Here we go. For $1 million. What famed clown tried to sweep away the spotlight with a broom? Andy Kaufman, Charlie Chaplin, Buster Keaton, Emmett Kelly. Okay, now this is one I don't know at all. So I will definitely have to use the lifeline on this. Now, is it smarter to ask the audience first or 50-50 first? Let me just take a second to think. I'm going to use the 50-50. So we're left with Andy Kaufman and Emmett Kelly. Okay, now I'm going to ask the audience. "75% of the audience say that it's Emmett Kelly." Okay. So now I need to take a second. Now I need to take a second. Do I want to go for it? It's a $468,000 risk. But wait a second. 5% of the audience chose two answers that aren't even there. I did just get the $250,000 question wrong in the other version. I really would hate to get the $1 million question wrong in this version, but that is an extremely good percentage. I have 8 games to go after this. $468,000. I would hate to win the $1 million in episode 1000 would be fantastic. To get the $1 million question wrong in episode 1000 would be really unfantastic. But that's an extremely strong percentage. I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Oh my gosh, why am I doing this? Deep breaths. D. Emmett Kelly. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say D. Emmett Kelly. Final answer. Yeah! Woo! $1 million. This episode is already historic. I've already won more than $1 million. Wow. Wow. I got so lucky. I got through the first 13 questions without using a lifeline. I knew the answer to the $500,000 question. Holy jumping. That is revenge right there. Man, oh man. That is fantastic. That's also the first $1 million win of the year. That's crazy. I cannot believe that. That's the 13th $1 million win of the series. Hopefully the first one of the episode. That's only the second game. So I've already won $1,032,000. Oh man, I can't get over that. Wow. Fantastic. Well, that's amazing. $1 million on the second game of the episode. There's still 8 games to go. Yeah, there's still $8 million up for grabs. So, I mean, the episode is far from over. And the fact that I've already won $1 million, like, I was not expecting to win $1 million at all in this episode. The only way I was expecting to win that much money was, like, accumulated from the 10 games altogether. I wasn't expecting to win $1 million in one game. So you know that's pretty cool. But now we're gonna move into the third game of the episode, which is going to be on the Game Boy Advance, the Australian version. I played this version from the first episode of the series all the way until episode 200. This is the version that started the whole series. I won the $1 million on this version a total of 4 times. But one of those times was actually after I stopped playing this version full time. It was after I went back. The fourth time was with my friend Zero Xerox on his birthday. We won the $1 million, and we actually won it in an amazing way. But I won the $1 million 3 times in this version when I was playing it full time. So we'll see if we can actually make it 5 times altogether. All right, here we go. Let's get into it. Here's the first question for $100. A calf is a young of cow. Okay. $100. Here we go for 200. Especially by children, a person easily scared is known as a fraidy cat. Okay. $200. Now we are going for 300. Kathy Freeman became an Australian hero competing in athletics. All right. Now, it has been a while since I've seen some of these questions, so I'm going to be very, very rusty. For $500, Australian Lionel Rose was a world champion in... I'm having a hard time remembering this one. Boxing, swimming, running, cycling. I don't want to use a lifeline this early. Crap, I really don't want to use a lifeline. Boxing, I'm trying to remember this, because I do remember this question, but I'm trying to... I don't think it's running. I'm thinking it's A or B. I'll say boxing, final answer. Yes! Woo! Okay! I've never been so excited from getting the $500 question right. Which bird is also a Batman score of 0 in a cricket innings? I think it's Swan. Honestly, though, I'm just going to play it safe. And you know what? I probably should have phoned a friend. But whatever. I'm asking the audience. Oh. Okay, 61% say it's D. That is not Swan. So I guess I made the right choice. So I'm going to say duck. Final answer. All right, we got $1,000. That's guaranteed. Oh boy, we are 10 questions away from my second consecutive $1 million. 2 lifelines left. That was rough, but you know what? We got through. Got $1,000. That's guaranteed. Now we are going for $2,000. Here we go. Question number 6. The Korean War was fought in the 50s. Okay, good. Whew. All right, that's $2,000. So 2 lifelines. Okay. Now we are going for $4,000. Here is question number 7. The The Sydney Harbor Bridge is what type of bridge? I think it's arch. I don't really want to use I really don't want to use a lifeline, but how sure am I that it's arch? Arch. Final answer. Yes! Woo! Man, I'm really, yeah. Like, I think I've had some of these questions before, but it's been so long that I don't really recognize them. But I think I do. I think that last one, I think I did remember. All right, here we go for $8,000. Still 2 lifelines intact. What kind of creature is a newt? I recognize this one too. Now, what is it? I think it's amphibian. Now, do I want to be absolute sure in 50-50? Because I'm kind of... It's a process of elimination in my head. It's not reptile. I'm pretty sure it's not insect. I'm pretty sure it's amphibian, so I'm just going to make B my final answer. Yes! Okay. I was a little more confident about that one than I was on the previous one. But the last few, I have not been 100% sure, so I'm getting all risked out, to be honest. But we're doing decent now. We've got $8,000. We still have 2 lifelines. We are now playing for $16,000. All right, let's not mess this up. Here we go. $16,000 question. Oh, for the love. Ah! I recognize this question. Something having tooth-like projections said to be which of these? Okay. So, again, I think I know this. I don't... Okay, so it's not A. I don't think it's B. I'm pretty sure it's dentate, but I also... D is also speaking to me, so I'm going to play this one safe. Okay, I'm going to go with dentate. Final answer. Okay, so I didn't have to 50-50 on that, because dentate is what I thought it was, but you know what? That's okay. I just want to be safe. $16,000. All right, we are going for $32,000 now. I still have the phone a friend, so I'm in good position right now. I will play it safe on this. And now, the phone a friend in this version is actually pretty bad, because quite often they don't know at all. But when they do give an answer, it is right, usually. Which American novelist wrote the bestseller One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? Okay. I'm thinking B, but I'm not sure. So I will phone a friend on this. We'll use my last lifeline on this threshold level. Let's see, what do they think? Please give me an answer. Give me an answer! Ken Kesey. Okay, so from the whole time that I played this version in 2020, I never saw the phone a friend wrong when they actually gave an answer. When they give an answer, I've always seen them right. And they're giving me an answer. They're saying Ken Kesey, so I'm going to go ahead and trust them. I'm going to say C, final answer. And there we go. $32,000 guaranteed no matter what happens. Now, the only problem is that I'm out of lifelines. So this is going to be very difficult. But Joe Trela did it. Nancy Christie did it. I did it with Ben. The last time I won the $1 million on this version because Ben flipped a coin for the last like several questions. Although the $1 million question knew the right answer to. Okay, here we go for $64,000. Ken Lay is a disgraced former CEO of which U.S. corporation? Cisco, Xerox, Exxon, Enron. Okay, so I feel like it's Exxon. And I'm gonna go with that because I have nothing to lose here. I have no lifelines. I mean, I could technically walk away, but there's no point. I'm sitting on a guaranteed level. I can't lose anything. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go with C. That's what I think it is, and I will make that my final answer. And it's wrong. It's Enron. Okay. Well, you know, what do I care? I didn't lose anything. You know, it is what it is. That definitely wasn't as devastating as the first game, but it definitely wasn't exciting as the previous game. So another $32,000. That's two $32,000 wins in this episode. But you know what? It's okay. It's honestly okay. So, 3 games are done. Now I'm going to be going back to the 2020 PC version. Alright, it is time to get started with the 4th game of the episode. We're back to the 2020 PC version, again on normal mode, and with the same 5 categories. In game 1, I played as the very attractive Julie, so for game 4, I'm going to play as Massimo. Here we go! Alright, here is the first question of the 4th game for $100. A rare occurrence happens once in a green sun! No, I'm kidding, it's blue moon. Alright, $100. Moving on now to the $200 question. Which of these expressions is used to mean the height of perfection? Bee's knees. Okay, $200. Here we go for $300. Which phrase refers to a conventional postal system? That is snail mail. Alright, $300. Here we go for $500. Hopefully I don't have to use a lifeline on this level. What is the result of adding up 1 hour, 40 minutes, plus 4 hours and 30 minutes? Okay, well, I'm not timed, so I can actually take my time on this. So, 5 hours, that would be 6 hours and 10 minutes, so C. Okay. That's $500. I'm already doing better than last game. Here we go for $1,000. Ebony is a type of wood. That's interesting. That's a question on the Arcade Thunder version. There we go. $1,000 guaranteed. 10 away from $1 million. We still have all 4 lifelines. I like this version because we get the extra lifeline. We get to switch the question. Here we go for $2,000. In Child's Fables, the word Bruin usually refers to bear. Because when I see the word Bruin, I think of the Boston Bruins. So there we go, bear. All right, that is $2,000. All right, here we go for $4,000. Where was Daenerys born in the Game of Thrones world? I'm not sure. I don't know anything about Game of Thrones. So I am going to have to use a lifeline on this. I'm going to phone a friend because this is the last level, I believe, where the phone a friend in the audience can not be wrong. So I'm going to phone a friend on this. And I will call Edward. And what does he say? He says Dragonstone, which actually sounds really cool. I'm going to say D, final answer. All right. $4,000. Now, I want to get to $32,000. Still have 3 lifelines. All right, here we go. Question number 8 for $8,000. In chemistry, what name is given to fatty acids that are in soluble water? I'm going to say lipids. Yes! Okay. Okay. $8,000. All right. Here we go for $16,000. In Greek mythology, who is Troilus' lover? I don't know. So, I'm going to switch the question. Now let's just see what the right answer is, just in case I actually get this question again in Game 7. It was Cressida. Alright, let's take a look at the new $16,000 question. CN. Canadian national. Final answer. Yep. It pays to be Canadian. That's $16,000. We still have 2 lifelines, the 50-50 in the audience. Here we go now for $32,000. The literal meaning of the word pessimist, I think that means worst. Is that the answer that they want? Or is it negative? I think it's worst. Should I 50-50 just to be sure? No, I'm going to say C, final answer. Yes! Woo! Okay, $32,000 guaranteed. We are 5 away from the million. 2 lifelines left still. Here we go now for $64,000. In the Bible, what was the occupation of St. Matthew? I know this. It is A, tax collector. Final answer. Perfect. Okay. Okay. $64,000. We're 4 away now. Here we go for $125,000. Which of these series did Mandy Patinkin not appear? Okay, I don't know this. I'm going to ask the audience. Now, asking the audience on this high of a level might not be particularly smart, so I might end up using the 50-50 as well. The Sopranos. Now, I'm just trying to think, do I want to play it safe? Dead Like Me. That doesn't ring any bells, so I don't think it's A. Don't think it's Criminal Minds. I'm just trying to think here. I'm going to 50-50 just to be on the safe side. So B is the second highest, right? Okay. We're going to go with The Sopranos. Final answer. Good. I didn't have to 50-50, but I just wanted to be sure. Just wanted to be sure. Alright, we're 3 away from the million. Unfortunately, no more lifelines. But we are going for $250,000. What term applies to a male fallow deer developing its first antlers? Thicket, pricket, snicket, sprocket. Okay, that is an interesting question. You know, I got the $250,000 question wrong in game 1. I basically made it back to where I was, pretty much. This time, however, I don't have any lifelines to screw my game over with. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take the 125. That seems like the most logical choice to me. $125,000. I'm pretty happy with that. So that's currently the second highest win of the episode, but we're not even halfway through yet. So, you know, there's still plenty of money to be won. But you know what? That's pretty good. $125,000. I'm pretty happy with that for game 2. Or, excuse me, for game 4. What the heck am I talking about? Yeah, that's pretty good for game 4. So, yeah, $125,000. That is very, very good. All right, now it is time for Game 5 of Episode 1000. We are back to the Arcade Thunder version. I just won the $1 million on this version a few minutes ago. Let's see if I can do it again. Here we go. First question for $100. What color are Smurfs? They are blue. D, final answer. Okay. $100. Now we're going for 200. According to the proverb about hope, there's always a light at the end of the road! No, I'm kidding. It's tunnel. Okay. It's 200. Now we're going for 300. What does the letter P stand for in the abbreviation ESP as associated with clairvoyance? That is going to be perception, so I will say C. Final answer. Alright. It's $300. Now we're going for 500. How many pigs' houses does the big bad wolf try to huff puff and blow down? 3. B. Okay. Now moving on to the $1,000 question. What waves can transmit TV pictures or cook food? That's going to be microwaves, so I will say C. Final answer. Alright, $1,000 guaranteed. Now, in game 2, I got through the first 13 questions without using a lifeline. Let's see if I can do it again. Who lives under the bridge that the 3 billy goats have to cross? That is going to be a troll. D. Final answer. Okay, now going for $4,000. What TV show features Ashley Abbott as president of a company called Jabbit? I'm pretty sure it is either B or D. So, I'm gonna 50-50. Okay, I'm gonna go with Young and the Restless. Final answer. Perfect! Alright, that was a good use of the 50-50. I know I had to use a lifeline way earlier than game 2, but that's alright. I'm still in the game for $8,000. What English measure did King Henry I define as the distance from his nose to his thumb? I think it's yard. I'm gonna try to hold on to my other 2 lifelines. I'll say C, final answer. Okay, good. Alright, we have $8,000. Here we go for $16,000. Elvis's first ever concert. Oh my gosh. I have had this question so many times. Darn it all. I don't remember. It might be 48, but I'm just gonna play it safe and phone a friend. I simply don't... It's D. 85%. Okay, then I'm gonna trust that. 1954. I will say D. Final answer. Okay. That is $16,000. We got 1 lifeline left. We are playing for $32,000. What was Mexico City originally built on? Oof. A lake? A mountain. I think it's a lake. I know I still have the audience, but I'm going to try to save them. I'm going to say D, final answer. Okay, good. Alright, $32,000. So that is the first 5 games have been guaranteed $32,000. That's very good. 5 away from the million. Here we go for $64,000. When did the Beatles split up? Gosh, give me a sec. This is not going as well as the first game in this version. As game 2, when I won the $1 million. This is not going as well as that. Is it 65? I don't know. I don't really want to get this wrong. Let's ask the audience. 55% say it's 1970. Okay. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I'm gonna trust that. I'll say C, final answer. All right, $64,000, 4 away from 1 million. All right, here we go for $125,000. What do badgers live in? What do badgers live in? Oh, gosh. Okay, so I don't know this. Now I have to decide if I want to walk with the 64 or if I want to just take the risk. Mets. Have I had this before? I'm trying to remember. Nets, sets, flets. Okay, so I don't think it's nets. I'm feeling like it's Mets. I'm trying to think, should I go for it? It's... Ugh. It's not really that much to risk. I'll do it. I'll say A, Mets. Final answer. Ah, it's sets! Dang it. Dang it all anyways. That sucks. So, I'm noticing a little bit of a pattern. So far in all the odd number games, I've won $32,000. That's very coincidental. I won $32,000 in game 1, $32,000 in game 3, and $32,000 in game 5. So that's very interesting. But yeah, we are halfway through now. 5 games are done. We've got 5 games to go. There's still $5 million up for grabs. All right, so now that we are halfway through, we've completed 5 of the 10 games. Let's go back to the Game Boy Advance for Game 6, the Australian version. Here we go. First question for $100. According to the well-known phrase, as American as apple pie, I actually have a fun fact about this question. This is the very first question I ever got in the entire series. This was my $100 question in episode 1. So it's actually very, very, very appropriate to be getting this question on episode 1000. For $200, colloquially speaking, what get crossed when there's a misunderstanding? Wires. Okay, that's $200. Now we're going for $300. How do we describe the small print in a contract setting the conditions and matters of detail? Fine. The fine print. All right, that's $300. Next question's for $500. Hopefully I don't have to use a lifeline on this next question like I did in Game 3. Tobey Maguire is known for playing Spider-Man. All right, that is $500. Now we are going for $1,000. Here we go. In 2003, Colesmeyer formed an alliance with which patrol retailer? I believe it is Shell, so I will say C. Final answer. There we go. $1,000 guaranteed. I got through the first 5 questions without using a lifeline, which is something I didn't do in Game 3, so that's good. All right, we are 10 away from $1 million. All 3 lifelines are still intact. Let's move on now to question number 6 for $2,000. What is a polygraph sometimes used to detect? That's going to be lies. I learned that from Dr. Phil. Yep. All right, so we're doing okay. We got $2,000. We are 6 for 6. All 3 lifelines are still intact. Let's go now for $7,000. What am I talking about? This is not the Chris Harrison version. I think as I was thinking question number 7, and I put it together and said 7,000. All right, $4,000 question. The Tiber is a river that flows through which European capital? I don't remember this. So I'm going to phone a friend. Using the phone a friend first this time, which I didn't do in the 3rd game. I'm fairly sure it's B. Okay, I would have said one of the two on the left, A or C, but I'll trust you because, like I said, when they give an answer, they're always right. Or at least that's the way it seems. All right, there we go. Very good. Thank you, phone a friend. That is $4,000. Two lifelines left. Here we go for 8,000. Which of these is a kind of nail? Dean, Brad, Kurt, Troy. I'm going to use the 50-50. Okay, I'm going to go with Dean, A. Final answer. It could be Brad. It is Brad! Well, that sucks. That's the first game where I did not reach the $32,000 level. But, you know, that's gonna happen, obviously, right? Like, that's, you know, I'm pretty lucky to have gotten past the $32,000 level in the first 5 games. Literally the first half of the episode. Like, I'm honestly very lucky for that. So, you know, to be honest, winning $1,000 at least once in the 1,000 episode, that's appropriate. So, I know as long as it doesn't happen like for the rest of the episode, I'll be happy. All right, let's try to bounce back after getting that $8,000 question wrong. Now, this is the last game where I'm going to be playing this game on normal mode because the next time I'm going to be playing this version, which is going to be the 10th and final game, I'm going to be playing on easy mode. So, yeah. So I play as Masabo in Game 4. So for Game 7, I'm going to play as Lindsay. All right, Lindsay, let's do this. Here we go. Here's the $100 question of Game 7. Which of these creates a foam when added to hot water? Bubble bath. All right. $100. Here we go for $200. Which of these is a tour of several drinking places with one or more drinks enjoyed at each? Pub crawl. Final. Okay. For $300, which of these television series featured Kermit the Frog, The Muppet Show? Alright, $300. Now going for $500. Besides puppy dogs' tails, what are little boys made of according to the rhyme? Frogs and snails. Alright. That is $500. Okay. Now we are going for 1,000. Complete this proverb. Love me, love my dog. No, that's not dog, that's work. There we go. That's $1,000. That's guaranteed. Okay. We are a third of the way to the $1 million. Let's try to get there. Here we go for 2,000. Which piece of music is used to herald the arrival of the U.S. president? Okay, give me a second. I believe it is B. Final answer. Okay. Very nice. $2,000. All right. Here we go for 4,000. Columbia is an Ivy League university in which American city? I've had this. The questions with the cities I'm not good with. So I'm going to use a lifeline on this one. I'm going to ask the audience. I had to use a lifeline on this level in Game 4, I think, didn't I? So it looks like it's New York. Half of the audience said B, so I will trust that. I will say B. Final answer. Okay, thank you, audience. $4,000. All right, now we're going for 8,000. The fabric suede takes its name from the French word for... I think it's Sweden. Suede sounds like Sweden. Okay. Woo! Okay. Jeez. $8,000. Now going for $16,000. Still have 3 lifelines. The U.S. sitcom Mork and Mindy was a spin-off from an episode of which comedy series? Okay, I have no idea. I don't think I've seen this question before. Happy Days, Family Ties, Kate and Allie, Cheers. All right, I am using another lifeline. I am going to phone a friend. Now, since this is after what I call the barrier of when the phone a friend can be, like, for sure correct, I'm going to actually play it through and see how sure they are. I'm going to call Thomas. Lindsay's cousin. Let's see what Thomas thinks. A, maybe. So this is the kind of situation I hate being put in, because do I want to try to save my other 2 lifelines and then trust him? Or do I want to play it safe and 50-50 just to be on the safe side? See, because if I do that and then it ends up being A, then I'm going to basically have wasted a lifeline, and I hate that feeling. I hate it. You know what? I will trust Thomas. I will say Happy Days. Final answer. Okay. Thank you. He did not sound right. Like, he did not sound confident at all. But that's good. That's $16,000. We still have 2 lifelines. Let's go for $32,000 right now. If you had Montessori training, what would you be training to be? The only one I'm pretty confident is not right is teacher. So I have to use another lifeline. Now let me just figure out, what do I want to do? I'll 50-50. Because if I do actually get past this, if I choose the right answer after using the 50-50, having the switch for one of the later levels might be really useful. So let's 50-50. If it leaves teacher, that will make me feel quite good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say pilot. Final answer. Okay. That backfired. Oh, I hope it leaves teacher. My dad was a teacher too. Now he was a substitute. I mean, he was a full-time teacher, and then he was a substitute teacher. But interesting. Okay. Well, that sucks. That's 2 straight games that I've won $1,000. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But you know what, though? It's okay. Because the next game is... I'm going back to the Arcade Thunder version, and, well, that's where I had my $1 million win earlier in the episode. So, fingers crossed. Now, the second game in that version really didn't go so well, but, you know, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed that I can actually, you know, do better than I did in the last 2 games. Alright, it is time to get started with the 8th game of the episode. We're going back to the Arcade Thunder version. Hopefully this game will be more like Game 2 than Game 5. Here we go. First question for $100. What is used to drive a nail? That is going to be hammer. Final answer. Okay. That is $100. Here we go for $200, which is a female deer. Doe. Final answer. Okay, that's $200. Now we're going for $300. What is the name of the dog in Garfield? Odie. Marmaduke. Alright, that's $300. We are a quarter of the way to the $1 million. Here we go for $500. How many pigs houses does the big bad wolf try to huff, puff, and blow down? 3. Final answer. Alright. $500, and now we're going for 1,000. What is a Molotov cocktail? That is a grenade, so I'm going to say D. Final answer. There we go. $1,000 guaranteed. Alright. 10 away from $1 million. Here we go for 2,000. What state's flag has a portrait of George Washington on it? That is going to be Washington. So A. Final answer. Alright. $2,000. Here we go for 4,000. What is the world's largest cat? I have a hard time remembering this. It is either A or D. I think it might be D, but let's 50-50 just to be on the safe side. Wow! Wow, that really helped! Holy flippin'. Are you serious? This is one of those questions that I know I've had before and I just can't remember the answer. Is it the lion or is it the cheetah? It might be the cheetah. The cheetah's the fastest. Dude, this is I hate this. You know what? I'm just gonna, yeah, I'm really scared to pick the wrong one. I think it might be the cheetah. It's probably C. Only 65%. Okay, you know what? I'm not using the audience. I'm not using all 3 lifelines on the $4,000 question. I won the $1 million in this version, in the second game. I went all the way to the $500,000 question without using a lifeline. I'm not using the third lifeline. I'm just gonna go with C the lion. Final answer. Okay. Honestly, for some reason, I didn't think that was right. Wow, that is that was rough. Okay, going for $8,000. I refuse to use another lifeline. What Asian country was acupuncture first practiced in? I refuse to use another lifeline. I don't know this. I know I've had this before, but I don't remember it. So you know what? Despite what I just said, I'm gonna ask the audience. 55% say China, 40% say Japan. Okay, I'm gonna trust the audience. I'll say D, China. Final answer. Okay, this is rough. $8,000, but we have no lifelines. So I hope I can get a little bit lucky here. Here we go for $16,000. How many colored balls are there in billiards? Okay, I think I know this. I think it is 15. So I'm gonna make C my final answer. Perfect. Okay, that is $16,000. We're going for $32,000. We're 6 away from the million. No lifelines. It's okay. $32,000 question. How many times bigger than Texas is Alaska? I have no idea at all. Wow, this was rough. I really shouldn't have used 2 lifelines on that cat question. I don't know this. And I've got 32, I'm going for $32,000. I've got 16,000. Let me be honest. This would be a flat out guess. This would be a complete flat out guess because I have absolutely no idea. Okay, because I'm not American. Like, I don't know, I barely know the sizes of the Canadian provinces, let alone the American states. So, honestly, the last 2 games I've won $1,000. If I go for it, there's a really strong chance I'm going to be wrong. There's a 75% chance I'm going to be wrong, and that would make it 3 in a row that I've won $1,000. Honestly, I'm taking the 16. Yep, I know that might not be, that might be kind of cowardish, but honestly, The first 5 games were so good. I had $1 million win. I had a $125,000 win. I had 3 $32,000 wins. And then all of a sudden, we get into the second half. It's like just crap. That was rough. I honestly, like, I knew that the lion was a big cat, but there's different kinds of cats that I obviously don't know. That could be bigger. Like I really. For some reason, I was thinking that, like, I know the cheetah is the fastest cat, but I really wasn't. I honestly, like, the 50-50 really messed me up because I was thinking A or D. Probably because I've had that question before, and I think I've chosen one of those two at least once. Maybe I've chosen both of them at least once. But I was just blanking. And then the 50-50 just screwed me up, really. It took away the two I was thinking, which doesn't happen all that often. So that question really, 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 it really hurt me. But you know what? Whatever. $16,000 is better than $1,000. So, it is what it is. All right, next up is the 9th game. This is going to be the second to last game of the 1,000th episode. We're going back to the Game Boy Advance for the last time in this episode, and hopefully I can make it past the $32,000 level. I haven't been able to do that since Game 5. So for the second half of this episode, I have not been doing well. So I'm hoping to change that here. Here we go! First question. For $100. Which of these animals is a type of ape? Chimpanzee. Alright, it's $100. Here we go for $200. Which of these fruits is eaten as a vegetable? Tomato. It's $200. Here we go for $300. Which noun best describes a person intolerant towards those who think differently? Bigot. Alright, that is $300. Here we go for $500. Transmitting disease in humans and animals is Africa's tsetse. Fly. Okay, that's $500. Here we go for $1,000. Dying in 1400 Englishman, Geoffrey Chaucer was a famous poet. Okay, I had to take a second for that one. All right, that's $1,000. That's guaranteed. So we are 10 away from $1 million. Now, I want to take the next 5 questions. I want to take it one question at a time. I really want to get past that $32,000 level again. So, let's just play it safe. Here we go, $2,000 question. Which dinosaur had 2 horns over its eyes and 1 horn on its nose? That is going to be Triceratops. Okay, that's $2,000. So we're doing okay. We're going now for $4,000. We still have all 3 lifelines. Here we go, $4,000 question. Peter Gabriel was a lead vocalist for Genesis. Yes, okay. Whew. Oh, it's been a long while since I've seen some of these questions. So when I see, even though it's been a while, when I see the 4 answers, there's just one that just pops out to me, and I can think that's my memory, telling me what the right answer is. Okay, we're going for $8,000. We still have all 3 lifelines. Here we go. Fitzwilliam Darcy is the romantic hero in a novel by which author? I don't know. It could be any of them. My first instinct was Jane Austen, but it could be Victor Hugo, it could be Mark Twain, it could be Charles Dickens. I honestly have no idea, so I have to use a lifeline on this, unfortunately. I'm going to ask the audience. Come on, guys. Jane Austen. That's what I was thinking. So I'm going to go with B. Final answer. All right, thank you, audience. So that's $8,000. We have 2 lifelines left. We have the 50-50 and the phone a friend. Okay. Here we go now for $16,000. Type of victory is won at such a great cost that it's tantamount to defeat. I'm going to 50-50. I think it might be B, but it might also be C. I'll say B. Final answer. Good. Okay. Good. That is $16,000. I wasn't 100% sure that it was B, so I'm glad I just played it safe. So we got $16,000. We are going for $32,000. I still have the phone a friend. Now the only issue with this is that they could not give me an answer, and I don't want that to happen. Here we go for $32,000. It'd be nice if I just knew the answer. The other common English spelling for the Portuguese city of Porto. It's either B or D, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna phone a friend because I think it might be B, but it honestly could also be D. And it could be A or C. I'm not sure. Hopefully they give me an answer. I don't want to have to go with my gut. Come on, please. You stupid fart! Why? D. Final answer. Woo! That was my second guess, and I was like, you know what? It was starting to sound right at the end. All right, that's good. $32,000. That's very, very good. We're 5 away from the million. No more lifelines, but that's okay. Joe Triola did it. Nancy Christie did it. Here we go for $64,000. Isn't this the question that I had? I could be wrong. Is this not the $64,000 question I had in game 3? Because if so, that's incredibly lucky. It's A. Enron. The thing with this version is that when you get a repeated question, the 4 choices they change positions. This was D, I think, when I had it before. So let's go with A. Final answer. I think that's... Oh. I'm pretty sure that's right. And, all right! Not bad! $64,000. Very good. Okay, we are 4 away now. Still no lifelines, but that's all right. $64,000. Now, I'm going to be quite honest. If I don't know the answer to this next question, I'm taking the money. It's that simple. Here we go for $125,000. This makes my decision very easy. Cut off from the rest of Germany between the 2 world wars was the province of what? Prussia. So as I was just talking about how this version, the options, they change. And I'm really bad with questions where, it has to do with the South, or the West, or the East, or the North. And the way I remember those questions... it takes me a while, but the way I do eventually memorize the right answer is the placement. So if the correct answer to one question is West, I remember, oh, West is B or whatever, right? But since in this version they shift them, that doesn't work at all. So honestly, I made the mistake of not doing this in Game 5 when in the second game of the Arcade Thunder version. I'm gonna take the money. I'm gonna take the money. That's it. That's the best game of the Australian version of the episode. $64,000. I'm honestly quite happy with that. That's pretty good. So, because I am really rusty with that version, Very, very rusty. So, $64,000. That's 9 games. That's 9 games out of the way. There's one more game left. And I've always thought that the 10th and final game would be the most promising to win the $1 million. And I've already won the $1 million in this episode. So, honestly, I'm going to try to do it again. I will try to take some risks. If I end up getting the $1 million question, I might be tempted to risk it all. I'm going to be playing the 2020 PC version once again, but this time it's going to be on easy mode. I've played right now up to this point. I've played the 3 main versions that I played in the whole series: the Australian Game Boy Advance, the 2020 PC on normal mode, and the Arcade Thunder version. I've played each of those games 3 times in this episode. But for the last game, I'm going to end up playing the 2020 PC version 4 times in this episode. But this last time, it's going to be on easy mode. And I mean, easy mode. It's called easy mode. I mean, it's easy, right? And I've played this version a lot. So, again, I haven't played it in a while, but I do tend to remember some of the right answers. So this could be promising. It could be promising. It's the 10th and final game of episode 1000, and I want to make it super, super epic. So let's get into it. All right, everybody. It is time to get started with the 10th and final game of episode 1000 of Jake Wants to Be a Millionaire. We are going to be playing the 2020 PC version for the 4th time in this episode. However, unlike the other 3 games in this episode, we are not playing on normal mode, we're playing on easy mode. I won the $1 million on easy mode 6 times in the past, and one of those times was in French, and in that same game, when I won the million euro in French, I did not use a single lifeline. That was episode 634. I consider that to be the best episode in the entire series. This episode, however, might actually pass it, but I mean, this episode is like, it's literally 10 times, like I'm having 9 more games than I did in that episode. But still, I mean, even in this episode, I haven't won, I didn't, like, even when I won the $1 million in game 2, I didn't, win the million without using a lifeline, like I did in episode 634. So that is what I would say, that is one of the best episodes in the entire series. I think up until this episode, I think it honestly was the best episode. But anyways, I played as Lindsay in Game 7, so Game 10, I'm going to be playing as Ruben, which is full circle, because I think he is the default character, but I could be wrong. Alright, let's do this. And yes, I have a face cam for this final game. I always like to have a face cam in special episodes, just like I did in the first episode of the series. Here we go. Here is the last $100 question of episode 1000. What does your heart do when you exercise? It turns green! No, it speeds up. Okay, that is $100. Alright, now we're going for 200. Who steals from the rich to give to the poor? Robin Hood. So C. Alright. Going now for $300. What colors do you have to mix to get purple? That is B. Blue and red. Alright. Now for $500. What colors do you have to mix to get gray? 2 questions in a row about mixing colors. I like all the questions to be like this, actually. That's going to be, no. No, it is not going to be brown and black. It's going to be black and white. Okay. That's $500. Here we go for 1,000. What is apiculture? That is beekeeping. And there we go. $1,000 guaranteed. Okay, we are 10 away from the second $1 million win of the episode. All 4 lifelines are still intact. Here we go for $2,000. Which of these are not necessary for blood flow? That would be C, muscles. Final answer. All right. Okay, that is $2,000. Here we go now for $3,000. I've done that before. $3,000 is not an amount in this version. For $4,000, who are considered to be inventors of the cinema? That is going to be the Lumiere brothers. B. There we go. Alright, that's $4,000, not $3,000. Alright, $4,000. Here we go for $8,000 now. In horseback riding, what's the rider's headgear called? A bomb. Alright, very good. $8,000. This is going well so far. We still have all 4 lifelines. We are 8 for 8. We are going now for $16,000. In addition to red and white, what are the colors part of the Mexican flag? That is going to be green. Green, B. I don't know why I started to say yellow there. Alright, this is actually going really well. We gotta just take it slow now, okay? We're going for $32,000. We still have all 4 lifelines. The next question is for $32,000. It's the second and final guaranteed level of the game. Here we go. $32,000 question. Of what is the surface of Mars made which gives it its red appearance? Paprika? No. Red sand? Possibly. Granite? Possibly. But the correct answer is iron oxide rust. Paprika. Alright, there we go. $32,000. Okay, this is really good. This is really, really good. We are 5 away from $1 million, and I have not used a lifeline yet. This could be really promising. Here we go now for $64,000. What is the only flying mammal? I'm pretty sure it's bat. So I'm going to say B, final answer. Yes! Yes! Okay. Alright, now I'm getting into it now, okay? This is really good. This is really good. 11 straight questions and I haven't used a lifeline. 4 away from $1 million. Here we go for $125,000. How is 2020 written in Roman numerals? Okay. This one I might not know. So 2000. M is 1,000, right? What's X? X is 10. So I'm guessing it's going to be C because M is 1,000 and X is 10. 2020, wouldn't that be MMXX? 1,000, 2,000. So 1,000 is M. So for 2,000 you would put MM, right? Because I don't think there's an actual letter for 2,000. And then you do the same thing for X, which is 10. I'm gonna go ahead and take the risk and say C MMX. I know I have all my lifelines, and I know it's a $32,000 risk, but that would make the most sense to me. That's the most logical answer. C is my final answer. Yes! Oh my gosh! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Okay. Wow. Wow. This is getting really, 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 really exciting. We're 3 away from $1 million, and I haven't used a lifeline yet. This is turning out to be just like game 2. This is why I saved the game on easy mode till the very end. 3 questions away from $1 million. My second $1 million win of the episode. I still have all 4 lifelines. Here we go for $250,000. Skrillex contributed to the soundtrack of a Japanese RPG. Which one? This one I do not know. You know what though? I got through the first 12 without using a lifeline. That's pretty good. I'm gonna switch the question on this. That would be the best choice, I think. Now, if I have to use a lifeline on the next question, I'll have to figure out which one I want to use. But I'm going to, or maybe I shouldn't switch. It might be better to switch on a later question. Well, let me just think here. If I make it to the $1 million question, it would be nice to have that. Let's phone a friend. This is risky. I don't want to have to use more than one lifeline on this. Let me call, let's call Eddie, Ruben's nephew. Might know something like this. All right, so we're going to let this play through. I hope I didn't make a mistake by saving the switch. All right, come on, Eddie. Please, please, please. Be 100% confident. 15 seconds. Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm going to ask the audience. Just for a little bit of security. Let's just see what they say. If they say D, I will absolutely go with it. Kingdom Hearts 3. Final answer. The audience was a complete waste. The audience lifeline may as well not even existed. I should have just gone with the phone a friend in the first place. That's $250,000. We're about to take a look at the $500,000 question. Still have 2 lifelines, 50-50, and switch the question. Here we go. Which of these players is not part of the Vitality Esport team? I think it might be D. But I'm not comfortable going with that. I'm going to switch the question. I hope it's not D. I hope it's not D. Please don't be D. Here's the new $500,000 question. That hurts. Which of these albums is not by Skrillex? I'm going to have to use the 50-50. I was hoping to go to the $1 million question with the 50-50, but I'm going to use it. I'll say Delirium, final answer. Yes! Oh my gosh! Wow, we have done it. That's $500,000. Oh my gosh. Yes. Wow. I cannot believe this. My choice of lifelines, I don't think has been the best in this game, but it doesn't matter. It's still gotten me to the $1 million question. For the second time tonight, here is the 15th and final question of the game, worth $1 million. That's what we are about to see. We are at the last question. Here we go. I cannot believe this. Now, I did win the $1 million in easy mode 6 times in this version. So we'll see if it's a question I've had before. Here we go for $1 million. Which of these animals is not oviparous? Dogs, chickens, pigeons, trout. Okay. Now, for some reason, when this question first popped up, I thought it was chickens. I really don't want to get the $1,000,000 question wrong on the 1000th episode. But I also really would. I mean, I've already won the million once in this episode. So let me see if I can try to narrow it down. Have I had this before? I have to try to think if I've seen this question before. At first, I was thinking chickens. But for some reason, I'm starting to think it's trout. That sounds familiar to me. Dogs, chickens. Okay, so I don't think it's dogs. I don't think it's pigeons. So in my head, I have it narrowed down to chickens and trout. Now I have to decide. Do I $500,000? If I were to win $1,000,000 in this game, I would win well over $2,000,000. And I've never done that. I've already set a record. I've already won more than $1,000,000 in this episode. I've never won more than $1,000,000 in one episode before. But to win over $2,000,000 would be amazing. Guys. I've gotten the $1,000,000 question wrong 5 times in the whole history of the show. Out of 999 episodes, I've gotten the $1,000,000 question wrong 5 times. I've gotten the $1,000,000 question right 13 times. I'm starting to really think that it's trout. I was thinking chickens at first. That was my first instinct. It's a $468,000 risk. I am aware of that. And it's going to hurt if it's wrong. It is going to hurt. I'm just gonna take another second. I'm just gonna take another second. I really think it's Trout. I really feel like that now, and I didn't feel like that at the beginning. I thought chickens, but now that I've looked at Trout more and more and more, it sounds right to me. But that does not mean it is right. Oh my gosh. See, the thing is, on game 2, I had a little bit more of a. I was a little bit more of a comfortable position because I had 2 lifelines. I had the audience and the 50-50. But in this game, I don't have any lifelines on the $1 million question. I'm sorry, I really feel like it's Trout now. And if it does end up being right, I know it's going to kind of look like Charles Ingram, the whole you know, major fraud on the British version of Millionaire. But I swear I'm not looking up, my phone it's behind me here. And in fact, I will just do that. I guess that doesn't really mean anything, but Trout. See, I don't want to say all the time, but most of the time when I'm going for $1 million, like when I do actually make the $1 million question, if I do actually go for it, I won't always for sure. Like I won't always go for it unless I'm quite sure. And like on game 2, I was pretty sure that D was right, but this one I'm not 100% sure. I don't really have anything to. I really don't have a good reason to think that it is Trout. Except for it's speaking to me. I don't know if I did see this question once before. $500,000. That would really be nice to my overall total. But seeing as I have already won the $1 million in this episode, see, I could go both ways. I could say, you know what, I don't need to go for this. I've already won the $1 million once in this episode. I can take the $500,000. I could have that attitude, or I could have the attitude of I've already won the $1 million. If I get the $1 million question wrong, it's the 32,000 is still better than nothing. So this could be either this could go one of 3 ways. This could either be my first $500,000 win of the episode, my second $1 million win of the episode, or my fourth $32,000 win of the episode. Honestly, I really feel like it is Trout. And I would hate to get the $1 million question wrong. But I am going to do it. I'm going to go for it. I'm really not sure about this. I'm starting to go with the attitude of I've already won the $1 million once in this episode. If I get it wrong, so be it. It is a lot of money to risk. It is a lot of money to risk. But the more I look at the word Trout, the more I feel like it is right. Now, again, it doesn't mean it is, and it's going to be hard if it's wrong, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to say D, Trout. Final answer. Oh my gosh. That's painful. That is really, really painful. I knew the risk, though. I knew the risk in going for it. I did. Dang, I really thought that Trout was the right answer. Ugh. Dang it! Well, that is very unfortunate. $468,000 is what I lost, which is just heartbreaking. But, I knew the risk. I knew what the risk was, taking a chance at the $1 million question. I had no lifelines left. I was not 100% sure. I just thought that Trout sounded right to me. It sounded familiar. And, it is what it is. It is unfortunate. It is devastating. But, this is the 6th time that this has happened in the entire series. I've gotten through this before. I can get through it on episode 1000. And also I won the $1 million earlier on in the episode. And by the way, that brings me to another point. This is the first time in the history of Jake Wants to Be a Millionaire that I've gotten the $1 million question right and the $1 million question wrong on the same episode. Now, 2 different questions, but I've never had a $1 million win and a $1 million loss in one episode, so that's kind of cool. But I was really hoping to go to, win over $2 million in this episode, because that's what I would have done if I had gotten that question right. But, I had a 25% chance of getting it right. The odds were definitely against me, and, that's what ended up happening. So I won $32,000, which, I have to be okay with it. I really do have to be okay with it. But anyways, guys, that is it for episode 1000 of Jake Wants to Be a Millionaire. What an episode this was. This was seriously I would say that this was the greatest episode of the series. Honestly, I always thought that episode 634 was, but I think that one might be a close second now. I think this one probably tops every single episode of the series. This episode has been so much fun to record. Honestly, I've had such a blast. I was hoping to win more money, but I still won over $1 million. So it is definitely really good. But yeah, so now to the total amount of money that I won in this episode. So I won $32,000 in Game 1, $1 million in Game 2, $32,000 in Game 3, $125,000 in Game 4, $32,000 in Game 5, $1,000 in Game 6, another $1,000 in Game 7, $16,000 in Game 8, $64,000 in Game 9, and then $32,000 again in Game 10. That is where I lost the $468,000. So that is a grand total of $1,335,000. That is what I won in this episode, which is still really good. That's over $1.3 million. So basically, I did better than the best that I could do on a St. Patrick's Day episode, because the top prize is $1.3 million on St. Patrick's Day. So, yeah, $1,335,000 is added to my overall total, and that brings it up to $61,566,700. So that is the total amount of money that I have won in 1,000 episodes of this series, which is just outstanding. Seriously, I still can't believe that we are on the 1,000th episode. It just seems like yesterday that I started the series. It really, really does. But, I just want to take another second to say thank you to everybody who, if you have seen every single episode of the series, I really appreciate it. But even if you've seen a few episodes here and there, I really, really appreciate it. It really does mean a lot to me. Like I said, I just love doing this series. It really, it's something that I get excited about. Every time I record an episode, I get excited. Well, maybe not any episode with the number 23 in it, but I do still get really excited for any episode that I record. And I'm honestly, I'm just going to keep going. I'm not getting tired of the series at all. We've been going for almost 4 years, and I'm not sick of it at all. I still really, really, really enjoy it, even after 1,000 episodes. It's still mind-boggling to me that we're into 4 digits now. It's actually crazy. But yeah, thank you again to everybody who does watch an episode here or there, or an episode daily, like every episode. That would just. That means so much. It really does. If you've seen this entire episode from start to finish, I really appreciate that. I really, really do. Thank you to every single one of you. I really appreciate it. And again, it's been so much fun. What a wild ride this has been. It has been just absolutely crazy. But again, thank you everybody. I really appreciate it. And that concludes episode 1,000. It is hard to believe. I was looking forward to this for so long, over a year, for over a year before this episode release. Well over a year ago, I was like, wow, in just a little over a year, we're gonna be hitting 1,000 episodes, and now it's over. It's hard to believe. So that's the end of an era for Jake Wants to Be a Millionaire. We are now into 4 figures. This Monday is episode 1001, which is a new era for the series. So I am permanently switching versions. The mini play version was just a filler. I hadn't planned on playing that version for too long. I wasn't very good at that game. So I've already stated that I'm done with that version. But starting this Monday, episode 1001, I am going to be going back to the Game Boy Advance, which is where this series started. But this time, I'm going to the British version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. This version released in the UK 20 years ago or whatever. I'm not really sure on the exact year, but it's on the Game Boy Advance, so it's got to be in the early 2000s. So it released probably 2 decades ago, and it released in the UK. So probably a lot of the questions are about the UK, which I am expecting that because that's the way that the Australian version was. But since it's the British version, all of the money values are in pounds. So that's definitely going to take some getting used to, because I have never ever played for pounds in this entire series. So I'll definitely have to get used to that. But that's going to be really cool. I'm going to have a chance to win 1 million pounds. I'm really excited for that. But it is actually a very special version, because that is the country where Who Wants to Be a Millionaire started. It started in the UK in September of 1998. So it is definitely special for sure. I mean, that's the origin of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, is the UK. So I'm really, really excited for it. It's going to be a lot of fun. The first few episodes is going to be really tough because I haven't played this version at all, and it's going to definitely take some getting used to. I won't know any of the questions. I won't, I'll probably know some of the really early ones because they're going to be relatively easy. But the later questions, it's going to be really, really tough. But yeah, that's going to be really exciting. 1 million pounds. I'm hopefully going to get there at least once. That's starting this Monday, episode 1001 at 9:00 a.m. Eastern time. It's going to be really cool. But that is it, guys. That's it. This whole episode was basically 2 weeks worth of episodes in one. 10 games, that's the amount of games I have usually in 2 weeks. So this has been by far the longest episode of the series. This is the first episode to go over an hour, and it's also the first episode to go over 2 hours. Not only did we hit an hour in this episode, we hit 2 hours. So yeah, it's more than twice as long as the previous longest episode, which was episode 500. That was 50 minutes long. This one's over 2 hours. So, yeah, this has been such a milestone episode. The biggest episode in the entire series. But, guys, that's it. that is it for episode 1000. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. And I will see you all back here on Monday for the new era, episode 1001, the British Game Boy Advance version. I'm super excited for that. Thanks, guys, for watching. Have a terrific weekend. And I will see you all back here on Monday. Thank you, guys. Peace out.